So when we first start decluttering, we can definitely do it the wrong way. And often people want to start in a particular area, but there's one thing you definitely need to do before you even start decluttering. Hey, I'm Robyn, grab your tea and let's go. Now first, I will get to one question you need to ask yourself before you even start, and then I will talk to you about where you should start. Now, for me, when I decluttered my house, it was one of the best things I ever did for my house, and now I have so much time, so much relaxation, and so much peace. I want that for you. Now, you need to consider why you have clutter in the first place. Now, I know you're like, whoa, no, you gotta listen to this. Now, many of us have clutter as a result of a lot of things. It can go back even to childhood. There are a lot of reasons. Maybe you grew up with somebody who didn't let you have a lot of things, so you're happy to have a lot of things, or there wasn't a lot of money, so you couldn't have a lot of things, or there was so much, so you're used to that. The thing is, a lot of people after the Depression felt like they wanted to just get more and more things because they had been deprived for so long, and that passed down to different generations. Another thing is shopping habits. Shopping habits can be a reason why a lot of us have a lot of clutter. We maybe just buy things without considering where we're going to store them, if we already have things, and it just sort of overall our consumerism and our habits for those things. Another thing, which I have talked about before, is Swedish death cleaning. Now, this was described by a lady named Margareta Magnusson, and she describes 3 instincts, as she calls them, and it is like the clutter instinct. Basically, you want to have things around you, you like having things out, it makes you feel safe, it makes you feel good. The second one is the hoarding instinct. That is basically when you like to have things just in case. Those are the people who have things in their drawers and they love just being sure that they're ready for anything. The third one is the fear of death instinct. That would be mine. I definitely identify with that one because it's basically like your kids are growing up, you're not happy about it, or you don't want time to change. You don't yourself want to grow up. You don't want, and I don't mean like you're immature, I'm just saying like you don't want to let go of time's past. So you hold on to things. This might be one reason why you have things. So I think it's really important before you start decluttering to explore why you even have these things in the first place. Because if you don't recognize why you have clutter and how you continue to get things, how you're going to actually prevent that from coming in the future. Another thing that you need to explore is how the clutter makes you feel. Now, I know you're like, whoa. I'm not saying you need to go to a therapist or that I'm your therapist or anything like that, or that you need to, explore how you felt about your 2nd grade teacher or the mean little kid down the street. What I am saying is you need to explore how the clutter is impacting your life. So does it make you feel stressed out? Clutter made me feel super stressed out. I didn't even realize it. And then I was like, wait a minute, I can't relax. That's another thing. Does clutter make it so you can't relax? Do you feel so burdened by having all of this stuff around you that you can't sit and put your feet up? Because when you get home from a long day, you know that you have piles of things here. You've got stuff on the stairs. You've got piles in your kitchen, and you just ultimately can't relax to the degree that you could if you didn't have that clutter. Another thing, it basically can just make you feel terrible overall. Maybe you feel bad about yourself. I've talked about nuts, the nagging unfinished task. Those are basically when you walk by something and over in your brain is like, you didn't do that. You didn't do that yet. And the thing is, we need to get these things out of the way because this stress compounds over time and it makes us feel bad. And you can't make a big change without dealing with the absolute foundation of why you have the clutter in the first place and how it is making you feel and how it is impacting your life. Now, a lot of people want to just start and rush and start decluttering. And this was my own problem in my own house. Once I started decluttering years and years ago, and I was not actually recognizing why we even had the clutter and that I needed to change some habits. I needed to change how I thought about things. Yeah, I thought I just needed to go through and get rid of a few things, maybe get rid of a few baby things, and I would sit and be like, oh, you know what? We need to get rid of this. We need to get rid of that. I didn't know that. Maybe we thought we needed to just buy more storage furniture and then that will solve our problem. But the thing is, that is never going to solve your problem. It wasn't until I examined my reasons why I had clutter in the first place, which would be like the fear of death, not recognizing that I can't hold on to all of the baby clothes, and laziness maybe in some areas, although it probably is more procrastination, because when you think about doing something and then you're like, whoa, I'm overwhelmed, never mind. And also not shopping smartly, not thinking, where am I going to put that? You know, that is a really important thing to consider when you are shopping. Now that I've fully decluttered my house, I really recognize when perhaps I could fall into old habits, and that way I can prevent it and thus prevent the clutter and continue living in a nice, simple, reasonable, minimalist house. Where should you start? That's a big thing too. Now, I have explained why you should never start in your kids' room in the past, but where should you start for your own stuff? Now, what is the one area of your house that is not completely overwhelming, but that you can make a great experience out of decluttering? So perhaps it is like a small corner of your dining room or your whole dining room. And if you start there, you can get that win. It can be any room in your house. I don't think it should be your garage, but hey, it could be. Maybe that is not like a super huge messy place. I mean, really choose a place that is not super overwhelming. Once you start experiencing great wins, you can enjoy that clear place, and then you can start expanding your minimizing and your simplifying. I can't tell you exactly what room everybody should start in, but what you should do is start in a spot that is manageable for you. So instead of living in a cluttered and stressful environment where you continue to exercise the habits that led to the problem in the first place, and you decide to declutter and just get that to come and come again, you can actually now recognize why you had that clutter and then prevent it in the future and love living in your clear home. Now, click this video here for how to get started. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.